Good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at XRP, Bitcoin, liquidity, and the Sigma coin. All right, so we came off of the capitulating lows on Friday evening, way down to 182. Moved our way correctively with an ABC up to the upside, and then proceeded to do another 5-3-5 wave to the downside. And yesterday, we talked about getting one of two structures, an either 5-wave move or an ABC. And we got the 5-wave move. So there you go. Beautiful. So we got 1, 2, and there's your 1, 2. And then we came all the way up here and got our 3, 4, and 5. So we'll just kind of cross that over. We'll have to move it a little bit more accurately. And we are just about finished with, this is actually the end of wave 3. And then this is wave 4 down here. And we're actually messing around with a lower fifth, or what's called a truncated fifth, where it doesn't make a new high. So that is the completion of the full 5-wave move. So now we have a 5-3-5 wave completion and an equal measured move of an ABC up, with it hitting 207.04, pretty much on the freaking dot. Look at that. I mean, just a few moments that it was able to hold above it before all the liquidations came in and sell pressure ended up manifesting. So the completion here now of this corrective structure means that we're going to now roll over and revisit the lows, probably down here into the 170s to possibly as low as 167, where we have some liquidity hanging out. So I was out in the world, so I had a long here, but I was just tired and I didn't want to be messing with it while I went out and lived life and look back at my phone and all. So I just closed it out, but a beautiful run. So it had a good, from where I entered was 93.5, there you go, roughly. And we would have had a good 7% return, 13 cents, beautiful. And my goal is to try to get 6 cents for every single day to scalp. So anyway, long story short, we got it there, but that's okay, because I knew that this rollover was going to come into play, and I just didn't know how aggressive this wave was going to be. And there's always another trade. So that's the way to think of it, is that even though this opportunity was missed, there's this opportunity back down again, and this may even be more lucrative to the downside. So from here, we can see the completion of the move, almost a perfect tag to the measured move. Oh, let's show you how to do the trend-based fibs. So these trend-based fibs are done by grabbing the bottom of the candle down here, and then so you're going to go over here and you're going to grab this trend-based fib tool, and so that's the one you're looking for. And then you're going to make sure that in settings, when you get into it, that you turn on log. So when you go to the style and you scroll down, you're going to want to make sure that this is on log scale right here. So this little box is checked. If it's not allowing you to check it, you want to make sure that you turn this little logarithmic on for your chart. Then it's checkable. So put that on, and then it will toggle back and forth between both log and linear for you. Then you run out this regular move from wave 1, or wave A in this case, up to the completion of wave A. So it would take us up there. Then we go down to wave B, and you bring it down to this level, and then I stretch it out to the side. And you can do this stretch out with settings. So what I'll do is I'll bring the second leg down, use my magnet tool to put it right here at the end of the move, right? So if it decides to not be weird, okay, come on. Oh my gosh, really? Right when we're demoing this, you decide to do this? Anyway, so the magnet tool could be a little finicky, but it's also really nice because it perfectly puts your marker right at that candle. Then you just go into your coordinates, and then you just change this last coordinate to, in this case, 325. Actually, we're going to go to 350. And well, I guess we're going to 400. Anyway, wherever it gets you, so that it ends up being past the area where you wanted to see that those fibs are carried over up into this region. Okay, so actually, wow, we got to go even more. So let's move this over to 500. Just get it all done. Super aggressive. There we go. So now you can see how this section here is reacting off those fibs, and we have that happen. Now it gave you the measured move. You come in here and you look and you say, okay, well, was that measured move pretty valid? And the answer is abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, look at that. Just right to the line, full rejection with a wave D. Then it's trying for this wave C. I'm sorry, this wave 5, and this was your wave 4. And if as it tries here, it just can't muster the strength to get above this 1 line. Now, if we start closing above the 1 and we start doing something different and we're moving up into this region, that's where you go, oh, okay, this is in fact something different to an impulsive structure, and we're no longer corrective. But the fact that wave A is the same after with wave B matches an equal measured move, then that makes it so that this is corrective, not impulsive, because it's equal legs. So so this then ultimately will now roll over, and we'll finish probably the next 48 hours. I'd say 2 to 3 days for us to smack down, probably a late 2-day from now kind of thing, where we get maybe Monday market open and the market just tanks and it dumps down to this final closeout, and we're all done. So that's how you end up using the trend-based fib tool. And this will be the completion of our 5th wave down, and then it's bed up. Oh, let's go all to the upside. So Bitcoin, same story. Now, what's interesting with Bitcoin, and this is where XRP has outperformed Bitcoin recently, is if we measure the same trend-based fib tool concept and we put it here on the Bitcoin chart, you can see that after the wave 1 high, which I guess maybe technically it's that guy right there, and maybe even if we, let's just use, apparently we're not very decisive this morning. So, but notice it didn't even get up to the 1, right? And it's done its wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in this one you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it may still squeeze. So I mean, there's obviously still time to happen, but we were expecting this level. And why were we expecting this level? Well, that green line that it perfectly tags here is the larger fib that we're running off the daily. So we have the beginning origin of the wave 1 and 2 of this next leg, or this completion of this flat here, basically. And this would be your wave 1, and then you have a flat for the wave 2 still in play. And you can see how this was perfectly a tag of that fib level. So that's ended up being what the stopping point was for those who were trading Bitcoin, was this level here, or this fib that it was ultimately tracking off of, rather than this trend-based one. So that's why when I went and did my XRP order, I put it in at the 886, and you can see that here with this white line. I ended up doing an order at the 886, was in profit for a few moments, and then it spiked above, had to weather that, and I was like, wow, it really did hit the equal measured move, outperforming Bitcoin. Then an ABC down, and I was like, oh my goodness, but now it's like I'm sleeping, right? I can't do anything about it. And so by the time I woke up, I was like floating like right over here. When I wake up, right around here. I was like, do I really want to, I don't know how high that's going to go, so I'm just going to hold. And I just weathered that little, jaunt over my positioning, and now we're in profit again. So, but this is the stretch goal, and since I was out in the field, it was better to not mess with, missing that exact target. So, so anyway, that's how you end up using those trend-based fibs. And liquidity for the 12-hour shows us that we're heading lower. There it is. They're going for the 201ers. And then we zoom out for our 3-day liquidity, and you can see that all of that liquidity has gone to the downside. So we've got 181 at minimum, right? So a new low is likely to at least form. And into that cascading low, when we zoom out to the 1 month, you can see that we have that batch of liquidity we discussed yesterday at $1.67. Ugh, and it doesn't want to even show it to you. It's so ugly. All right, there you go. So Sigma then, how are we doing? Well, look at this. We got buys. People are buying. Yay. Hee-haw. How could you not? It's gone down from 11.76 million down to 780,000. Holy bajoli. So just a return to the prior all-time high at this point is going to take us up to a 14x. Again, absolutely amazing considering what the community is able to accomplish, what it's been able to do. The bridge to 2 different chains, a layer 1 and layer 2, an automatic passive buyer, potential smart contracts on the Corium side, parties, community spaces every day, TA that you're learning about, all the above. And yet everyone's like so cooked. Anyway, just makes me laugh. So this tiny little jaunt wave 1-2 crap will be all done soon. And this will then, at minimum, taking us up to, from our current price, up to a 1618 would be a 99x. Woo, good day. Then you pop up to the 2618. Oh, well, now you're looking at a 230x. Ah, it's even better. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's a 2306x. So that's always good. And then, you have more that you can do up here and start getting really stupid. So, and that's going to all happen with XRP's explosion to the upside, right? So, as of right now, that's basically where we're at with the Sigma coin. I mean, just completion of a WXY, a higher low being printed, people buying. Amazing that we even got this low, but no gaps on the left, so that's good. And a very slow, controlled chop, which means people want it, and they've been buying it. So then now we just got to get it to go wee. So that's the next part. And that'll be the fun part. So that's getting close. So once we're done with this next 2 to 3 days of the final completion of XRP's rollover, and its breakdown back down into the sub-dollar range, sub-$1.80, sub-$1.70 range, then maybe, I'm thinking maybe 175. That's kind of my guess. Maybe we front run that liquidity. But anyway, we'll see where this goes. So you just run the short all the way down, build it up, run it down, and that's the trade that I'm doing right now. And then we will be probably missing sleep if this is cascading at 2 a.m. And we're going to just put all of our buy orders way down here. And then, oh, here's that moving average. Yep. So it's probably, 167 is probably the answer, because it's going to tap this 200-week moving average right here. So anyway, so that's probably the rollover. It may take a few days, but once we get down there, then extreme fears in the market, everything's over, everything's cooked, we hate everyone, and then bam, we're out of here. So should be soon. So we'll check in tomorrow to see, and the biggest lines in the sand do not cross and start closing above here. So I should say closing above this level. Watch the completion of this fifth wave. Bitcoin is telling us that it can't muster the strength to get above, so it's showing weakness. XRP was able to at least get up to this level, and now we're ultimately watching it for its final rollover and closing out this wave 4 of this ABC move. So, all right, guys, we'll check in tomorrow. Thanks for watching.